is Wellness Wednesday. Did you know 1 in 3 children in this country are overweight? It's putting them at high risk for major health problems such as type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure in a kid,
oh my gosh,
and heart disease.
Yeah,
right?
September apparently is National Childhood Obesity Month. And in today's wellness segment, Dr. Adrienne Youdim joins us with key concerns that doctors see that can be avoided. Good morning, Dr. Youdim. We're going to start out right away with a topic that's facing all of us parents, too much screen time and not enough activity. I have a little one, admittedly. He is on the iPad quite a bit, but not the 5 to 7 hours. Is that correct?
That's right.
On average?
You know, National Institute of Health put out a story or a report that average child is spending 5 to 7 hours on a screen every day and 3 hours in front of the TV, which is tremendous,
That's
right?
Incredible.
And the problem is not only is that time that they're sedentary and not doing activity, but that's also time that habitually they're snacking. They're in front of the TV, they're in front of the screen, and there's this mindless snacking and eating going on. Not to mention the fact that they're bombarded with commercials and images of food that are also increasing their
So what do? We have to set a schedule
to consume. Yeah, you know, it's like everything else with parenting. It's a little bit of carrots and a little bit of sticks. Setting limitations. For my older ones, we don't do phones and screen time during the school week. The little one is a little bit more of a challenge. I set a timer, and she knows when the timer goes off, then the screen has to go off as well.
You know what my son tells me, and Liz, you can relate to this a little bit because we're always on our devices, right? So Gus tells me, but you're on your iPad. Because you're on your laptop.
What do you do?
So
what do I do?
So much of this whole issue is about role modeling and consistency. You know, you have to set the tone by role modeling, and you have to be consistent in what you do. So I have to admit, sometimes I do a sneak at my phone, and then I got to tuck it under the chair.
Yeah.
Right, so you have to get up and get out with your kid is probably what you're saying when you're going role modeling. So if you want them out the door, maybe you have to go out the door with them and do something with them?
Absolutely. You have to put the screen away. You have to go outdoors. And you also have to demonstrate the food behaviors. I can't tell you how many parents are reluctant to get the junk food out of the house because there's other children in the home that they feel bad for or who are lean and not facing weight issues. You have to have a clear message. It has to be consistent. And it has to be universal for everybody in the household.
You know, this is something I notice people do all the time. They get the juice drinks. You know, I see the juice drink and I'm like, you know, terrified because there's so much sugar in that drink. So it's really not a good idea, but you're seeing a lot of it too.
Yeah, absolutely, Liz. This is one of my personal pet peeves, the juices everywhere. Because, you know, I think we're all as parents, or in general, in the public, we're
busy.
But we know that soda is bad, right?
Right.
That's known. But there's this fallacy out there, this myth that juice is healthy, a healthy alternative. In fact, juice has almost the same amount of sugar, over 30 grams of sugar per 12 ounce, as a can of soda.
You know what I see parents going to school in the morning with their bullets? The big craze about the bullet, you know, the thing where
like
you
a
put
protein shake or something?
Yeah, the
a juice
shakes in the morning. They run out the door with it. So that's not as good now?
Well, you know, it really depends. I mean, I'm a fan of meal replacements, using a protein shake to replace a meal, but it has to be done the right way. Juicing is something that's totally different. Juice is just the sugar. It's not using any of the kind of benefits of the whole fruit. And for children, it's an absolute no-no. I mean, the American Academy of Pediatrics has said absolutely no juice in children under age 1 and very limited amounts in older children.
No apple juice then. No, you know, you want to put in the sippy cup, the answer is no.
None.
So let's talk about the stigma attached to the word obese and what we tell our children. When is it appropriate to say, are we sugarcoating it by saying, oh, they're overweight?
Yeah, this is such a tough issue, right? Because on one hand, you want to be clear, especially to parents, about what the risks are, what the health risks are. And on the other hand, you want to be super sensitive to those children because there is certainly a stigma that's associated with the word as well as with excess weight. I think you don't sugarcoat it when you talk to parents. Parents need to know that this is not a cosmetic problem, but it is a health problem, as you mentioned, associated with diabetes, joint problems, future heart disease. Parents need to be aware. At the same time, we have to maintain sensitivity when we talk to our children. This is an important issue, and we don't want them to have negative feelings about themselves surrounding it.
No doubt. It's important. It's an epidemic, like, right? Obesity. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Doctor.
Dr. Youdim. For more information, of course, go to our website, foxla.com, under the tab Wellness Wednesday.
That's good stuff for adults, not just kids.
Absolutely.